Hi guys, welcome to Classic TV Facts and Trivia. Thank you for being here. I got one on probably one of the best characters on television. It's Agnes Moorehead, played Endora on Bewitched. I loved her and Darren's back and forth. But here's 12 little known facts about her. That was 12 little known facts about her, in case you didn't understand my gobbledygook. And we'll start with number one. Her first gig was performing in the St. Louis Opera Company. When she was 13, Agnes Moorehead decided she wanted to try out for the St. Louis Municipal Ballet, which her preacher father, rather shockingly, supported rather than disapproved of. Brought her into the choir. She would spend a total of 4 summers as a part of the St. Louis Opera Company. College first, acting later. She desired to attend New York City's American Academy of Dramatic Arts, but her parents' focus was on her education. The solution: she majored in biology at Ohio's Muskingum College, graduated, and taught for 5 years in Wisconsin, coaching debate and directing school stage shows. And then in 1926, having saved some money, she moved to New York and began attending the AADA. Finding a home on stage and the radio. When she graduated from the AADA, she immediately started to work. Explains biographer Charles Transberg, author of I Love the Illusion, The Life and Career of Agnes Moorehead. She worked as an understudy or a bit player on stage and began doing roles on radio. She frequently collaborated with Orson Welles. As her radio presence increased, Moorehead was cast as Margot Lane on the radio drama The Shadow, based on the pulp hero of the same name, with a fellow named Orson Welles cast as Lamont Cranston, the hero's secret identity. This was not only was the beginning of a friendship that the two would share for the rest of their lives, it would lead to her becoming a part of Wells' eventually renowned Mercury Theater of the Air, which presented dramatic audio adaptations of classic novels. Citizen Kane. As Transberg explained it, RKO Studios became very interested in the talents of Orson Welles and wanted him to create films for them. So this end, he brought along the ensemble cast he'd put together for the Mercury Theater, including Agnes Moorehead. Her first movie was also Wells' first, which also happens to be a cinematic masterpiece, Citizen Kane, in which she plays Charles Kane's mother. An acclaimed character actress, Jeffrey Mark, makes the point that although she was great in demand in Hollywood, she was never really the focus of a particular project. She was talented enough to be the star, but so talented that she didn't play the star parts more often than not, she said. There were no TV series with her in the lead. There were no Agnes Moorehead films, but when she was in a film, she stole it. Look at a film like Dark Passage in 1947. The main characters are played by Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall, but you steal every scene from them. That says a lot. She was nominated for many awards and won a couple. For Magnificent Amberson, she would win the New York Film Critics Award as Best Actress and was nominated for an Oscar as Best Supporting Actress. In the 1940s, 2 more Oscar nominations came her way for Miss Parkington and Johnny Belinda. Jump ahead to Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte in 1964, as Betty Davis' maid destined to be murdered by Olivia de Havilland, and there was her 4th Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress. I'm sorry, I lost my place. Agnes Moorehead was considered a genuinely versatile performer. Jeffrey Mark refers to her as a natural talent who spent the time studying her craft in order to constantly improve. She was not someone found in a gas station or on a beach or in an elevator. She was somebody who had studied to do what she did. She didn't have the vanity of a gorgeous woman. She was willing to play anything that made sense to her and to look like whatever the part called for. That gives you tremendous versatility. She arrived on Broadway in 1951. She made her Broadway debut in Don Juan in Hell in 1951 with Charles Boyer in the title role. Charles Lawton as the devil and Cedric Hardwicke as the commander. As Donna Anna Tanberg opines, Agnes finds to her chagrin that she is in her hell rather than heaven, jolting because she always believed she was a virtuous woman. Charles Lawton also directed, and Agnes was chosen for the role in part because of her ability to change from an old wizened woman of 77 to a young lady of 27, using only her voice to indicate the change. She appeared on many television shows in the 50s. Her television debut came in 52, TV movie Poor Mr. Campbell, followed by a dozen appearances on anthology shows, with episodic guest shots starting to enter the picture towards the end of the decade. In 61, she starred as an unnamed character in The Invaders episode of The Twilight Zone. From Hazel to Bewitched. Surprisingly, Agnes Moorehead actually auditioned for the title character of the sitcom Hazel, that role ultimately going to Shirley Booth. But thankfully, things went the way they did because in 1963, she was offered the part of Endora on Bewitched. She briefly returned to Broadway after Bewitched. Bewitched came to an end in 1972, and unsurprisingly, Agnes Moorehead handled it pragmatically. Making plans to return to the stage, she reprised her role from Don Juan in Hell for a Broadway run and then tour, supplied the voice of Mother Goose in the animated film Charlotte's Web, and was back on Broadway in 73 for an adaptation of the film Gigi. Unfortunately, she fell ill during that production and was replaced by Arlene Francis. Charles Strasberg offers she was suffering from terminal cancer. Her great friend Debbie Reynolds told me that Agnes told her that she would beat it, and she put herself in God's hands. Agnes Moorehead died on April 30th, 1974, at the age of 73, in the arms of her mother, who herself would live to be 106. She was married twice, first to John Griffith Lee from 30 to 52, and Robert Gist from 1954 to 1958. There you go. Very, very cool. I mean, this woman could do it all. I mean, on stage and screen, and and a lot of awards. And it's a shame that she went down the way she did. But how cool is it to have your mother there at that time and her to live to be 106? My mom is 92, and I find that very cool. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please like this video. Thank you very much. Share it out with your family and friends. Just do it. Let's say you got a brother or sister that you really, really hate, share this video with them. They'll hate you even more. Guys, have a great day. God bless you, and I'm praying for you.